Hello, this is Adam Betts again, and today we are going to be going over Chapter 3, Question 12. And it says quite simply to write our program to draw a face of a clock that looks something like this. And we're going to go for exactly like this as much as possible. We're going to call our program Turtle Clock. And to start off, we're going to bring in the Turtle module, which conveniently I've saved another template for this to make sure all the settings are correct. And it's simply to import the turtle module so we can actually get a screen up to the draw around, which is the same as the cursors. The name of the turtle screen, we call it WN. We're going to set the background color to light green. Our turtle we're going to call Tess. Our shape is going to be a turtle. And for the color we're going to do blue, which matches that. With this out of the way, we gotta do the basic parts. First, we're gonna need to make a marker in the middle. So let's do test.stamp, which is conveniently we'll make an image of test and stamp a picture, as you can see right here. Now that that's out of the way, we're gonna go on forward and we're going to see if we can make this look like this. As we can see right here, before we get into it, we know what for loops are, and it lets us repeat a task, and without having to manually input it. And we have 12 faces of turtles. So let's just start with that. So first, we're going to need to pick our pen up, because if we just go test forward, and let's go 100. If we simply do this, test is going to draw a line that's going to be connected, which doesn't really help us very well, and it does not look very much like a clock. So we need to pick test up with the pin up command. And let's go ahead and, before I get ahead of myself, label this as clock hand, which we're going to go forward 100. And by doing this, this will keep us from drawing a hash line all the way to it. Once it goes forward, we're going to need to put test back down with the pin down command, and this will simply put her down. And we're going to test forward. Let's just go forward 10. Again, we're going to pick test back up. And we're going to move her forward again. And let's just do 10. And let's do a stamp. And if all this goes well, let's go ahead and get her back to the starting position, as that way our reference frame is always the same. So we're going to do forward, because I like to keep things in the same coordinate plane. And we're going to go negative 120, which is 100, 10, and 10. So a total of 120, and we're going to go backwards. And this should put test back to the starting position, and we got our first hand of the clock. Now that we have this, we can go and even go a step further and define this as clock hand. That sounds good. And we're just going to close this off, because we don't really need to, we're not going to change the variables, and we'll just simply end in our lines. And now we have a nice little function to make this next part a little simpler. Now that test is doing the main part, we're going to rotate the clock hand stamp, which is simply taking advantage of our for loops. And we'll just do for a in range 12, which will do from 0 to 11. And we're going to do clock hand. And this should simply repeat this process. Now, as you notice, it's not actually rotating. So we're going to add one more step to this, and we're going to run the clock hand program again, but we're going to add a rotation of 30 degrees. Since our image, there's 12 points, there's 360 degrees in a circle, meaning that for each one there's 30 degrees between each of them, which you can easily check. This is 90, that must, and there's 3 points, 1, 2, 3, that would be 30. So we're going to test, then let's do I prefer right. And let's try this again. Now, test rotates around and fills out the rest of our clock. It's really that simple. There's not, we're taking advantage of our for loops. We're repeating a function that we defined, and we're going to just make it turn. And instead of writing this out 12 times, we simply wrote it out once and called it back. This is Ambets, and I will see you again next week.